Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are playing black-white vampire tokens. It is an mid-range deck, another mid-range Invoke Despair black pile, but this one has a tribal flair and some different card selections from the Graveyard Trespassers and the tenacious underdogs that you're used to. So let's get into why I think it's a pretty sweet way to attack the black-themed meta. So first of all, the card in the deck that should jump out to you as, whoa, is that card a meme or is it good, is Edgar, Charmed Groom. This card you haven't seen played much. It was played quite a bit when the expansion Crimson Vow first came out, but since then it's dropped off really hard. Just occasional play in various black-white tokens shenanigans that got replaced by Esper, and the card never really took its spot back from Wandering Emperor after Kamigawa was released. However, I think this card is absolutely amazing against mono black. Their exile removal is very low. They focus on using the Graveyard Trespasser to exile things from the graveyard, but Edgar never stays in the graveyard. Once you have Edgar's Coffin on the field, they have no way to remove it. There's basically no way for that deck to kill an artifact. So you often end up just getting this never-ending stream of life-linking vampires that offset the life that you lose from the Trespassers and the Invoke Despairs and the attacking underdogs, and they keep you with a constant board presence. So you can always pressure their planeswalkers, which is, they don't like that one bit. Let me promise you that. And on top of that, we have sweet vampire synergies in the deck. So Edgar actually giving that vampire +1/+1 can matter when you have cards like Welcoming Vampire. This card lets you draw cards and keep up with the opponent's creatures. It's another one that looked like it was phased completely out of the meta, but its ability to go over the top of the battlefields that currently kind of get mucked up on the ground makes it really good, and it draws a ton of cards in this particular deck. The deck at first doesn't seem super exciting because we don't have a lot of new cards, but let me show you the ones that we do have, because they're actually bangers and they're not rares. So if you already have a Blood Money type shell from the previous format, you can get into this without spending many rare wild cards on new cards. So there's Phyrexian Missionary. This is the little kicker 2/3 cleric that can get back other creatures from the graveyard. This is a really sweet card for setting up loops where you just get back more missionaries over and over. You get back Spirited Companion for value. If they actually kill or make you discard Edgar, you get back Edgar. If Edgar Legend rules, one can be a coffin, the other can be on the battlefield, but a third one could come back to your hand, I guess. But really, this with Welcoming Vampire is really fun because it just creates this loop where you're getting all these triggers, and if they ever kill your vampire, you get back your vampire. So Phyrexian Missionary, really good card in this particular deck, even if it's not a vampire. The other four of is Destroy Evil, and Destroy Evil is aptly named because it kills the most important things in the format: Adeline, Haughty Jin, Sheldred. If you can take out those at instant speed at a low cost of 2 mana, you're really good. And worst case scenario, this thing can pick off things like Fable of the Mirror Breaker because it does destroy target enchantment, and almost every deck is playing some amount of those. The rest of the deck, we get to run the Forgotten Rite of Oblivion, a card that I think has been written off. Remember how good Vanishing Verse was? Rite is better if you have things to sacrifice. And while Shambling Ghast and Eye Twitch are gone, this particular deck is really good at making sacrificial stuff, whether it's Spirited Companion, the tokens from Wedding Announcement, the tokens from Edgar, Charmed Groom's Coffin, or just something you're happy to get back with the Missionary, or the leftover Meat Hook Massacre. Rite of Oblivion is a real player here that can exile all types of permanents, which comes up big against the various Titan strategies you run into. All right, that's an introduction to the deck. Today's video patron shout out goes to La Crumph. Thanks for having me say that. Lack Clumph. Anyway, if you would like a shout out in a video, check out the Patreon tiers, link in the description, and thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. But today, especially La Crumph, you're very cool. Let's dive in. Let the vampire nonsense begin. All right, it's a good vampire hand. It'll work. The Destroy Evil probably won't get played on turn 2, but that's okay. When you're on the play, you don't need to be on curve. Curtains? I said it wouldn't get played. Now I'm like, do we play that? I think we let our opponent put their mana into it, but I'm not positive. Because now we've drawn a dog. It's a good dog. I'm playing the dog. I'm not respecting these curtains. If that's how the opponent wants to spend turn 3 after we play a welcoming vampire or a wedding announcement, that is fine. Could attack, they'll block for sure. And there might even be some kind of penalty to attacking that I don't foresee, like pumping the curtains. We activating? Here it comes. They'll probably have to take Destroy Evil here. But they might fear Invoke Despair. Let's see what they do. Okay, they give up Invoke. They take the Invoke. Sure. So now I could just kill their only board presence, attack, and draw. But here's the thing, when I make a token, I get to draw anyway. So we just want to play you. Move to end step. Get those draws, baby. There's Edgar. Meat Hook range is approaching, but Wedding Announcement flipping really messes with that math. Interesting. All right, we are going to send the whole frickin' welcoming committee. That's a draw. Just you. That makes another token, which is also a draw. And a flip. So very much ahead of Meat Hook here. So they're hoping for a block. So they're going to hook. Let's just block with one of our tokens. Don't block with the welcoming vampire though. If I destroy the hook, I prevent their life gain, which is not nothing. But we're gonna let it go. Save it for Sheldred. Here's Eddie. Oh, order. Missed damage. Sorry, I don't play these cards that often. I'll get better. What are you gonna do, Liliana? You gonna make me sacrifice Edgar? Okay. I will do it. That is fine.
Off you go.
I now have my coffin. Hallelujah. And you can see how, like, the opponent may have had Liliana for a while. This deck just makes everything so awkward for Liliana. Interesting. No attack from the Revealing Eye. There's an Infernal Grasp. That's a draw. That's a 2 draw. No, we already drew once for this one vampire that we have. But we can play Backup Eddie. Hell yeah.
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Hook for 4 doesn't do it, so yeah, we can play another vampire there. Oh my goodness. The value beatdown. That was beautifully nasty. All right, this hand will play. Just play the dog and everything will work out, right? Right, totally. Okay, looks like we get mono black part 2. I try to save the missionary to kick it later. We'll see if that turns out to be a mistake on the draw where the opponent can kind of try to aggro me down. We don't want to give them any happy targets for like Liliana's ability or cut down or things like that early. See? Like using that on the dog is way better than them using that on something else. Now let's see if they use a graveyard trespasser to exile it before we get to res. Yeah. One came in my graveyard, ate my dog. So mean. All right, keep taking damage. Keep taking damage. What are we discarding here? Nothing, because the opponent's not making us discard. Okay. Here's Eddie. Card certainly takes up some space on the battlefield. Their Invoke Despair doesn't look great here. They get a wedding announcement and a token, or I sacrifice Edgar and start making more creatures. They're attacking me. So that's a meat hook attack if ever I've seen one, huh? I will lose Eddie though. I do not care. We still want our opponent to cast the meat hook though. So maybe we just block with everything? Does it matter? And then what? They invoke Despair, they get the announcement, and I have no creature? That's bad. Maybe we just take it. I suppose we'll just put Eddie in front of the Trespasser and then one token in front of the underdog. And that way, if they have Invoke Despair, we still have two things to sacrifice. And if they have Meat Hook, they're not going to cast it now, of course. But, let's put a stop here for Sheldred. But they can't Meat Hook for one and rid us of a board presence entirely. It's really sus, but we're doing it. Okay, I mean, they kill their own underdog from that play. I think that was a good play. We took no damage. They still had to play the meat hook that turn. All right, what do we discard? I think we'll give up one of the missionaries. I might just get it right back. Invoke Despair cleans up. But leaving the missionary down there for trespasser value makes me sad. Yeah, I think we assemble a board. Nice and easy. Invoke Despair looks nice, but it's better if there's no Liliana, that's for sure. So that we get the cards. I like the cards because I'm a value deck. If you're an aggressive deck, you know, you like the damage, or maybe you do like sweeping their whole board presence away so you can keep getting in for damage. But this is a value deck, and we want value invokes. And you can see this board is just like, what does Invoke do against this? Not much. What does Meat Hook do against this? Not much. What does Liliana do against this? Etc, etc. We'll put a stop here again, though, in case they have Sheldred. Your Planeswalker trades with my token.
I'm not interested. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Go. Welcoming Value Engine. Awesome. So what are they holding? Just removal for this? Let's turn it sideways and find out. Okay. Let's do it. If they want to do nothing, we accept. No land drop, but oh well. The hostile. We've got a dreamer among us. What do you think this is? Stranger Things? Underdog go woof. We take those. We've got plenty of lifelink to gain it right back. Oh, the hostile dream. The hostile dream. I don't know how you're gonna live that long. Uh-huh. Oh my god. You think they knew they were dead? I don't think they knew. That's a lot of damage when Eddie comes back. On the draw with a hand that doesn't have white. We do have to mull for that white mana. It's kind of crucial. There you go. What goes back? I'm gonna put the Spirited Companion number 2 back. Okay. Curtains. I think we need this Invoke Despair pretty badly, so I'm probably gonna grasp these curtains, but please don't underdog. Okay, thank you. It also at least appears to me that they have a removal spell from the hold on priority. Now let's see if they play around my removal spell or not. The answer is no. Cool. We get their turn. We get our companion down. We're getting towards Invoke Despair. Life is good. Are you a Sheoldred? Yes, you are. God. All right. So this is the bad turn. This is where them being on the play makes all the difference. We need them to not have a creature going into the next turn. So somehow I need to convince them to like play Liliana or something. So I'll play out this vampire and just... What else am I going to do, right? Take one for the team, buddy. Is this the Invoke Despair? Might be. Okay. It's Liliana. That's like best case scenario as long as they don't have an underdog here. I still think they have some kind of a removal spell though from turn 2. Clean it up. Missionary, nice. If they don't draw a Trespasser, we can get back our Welcoming Vampire. Okay. What's good against removal? 2-for-1s. Now next turn we have Dog Welcoming Vampire. Do they kill it? Not yet. Curtains? You gonna mess with my Welcoming Vampire? They didn't flip it. Why didn't they flip it? What do they have? What do they have? Do they think they can flip it at instant speed? Maybe they do. I cast Welcoming Vampire. I cast Spirited Companion. Do you kill Welcoming Vampire? No. I'm so confused. Those are lands. This is a Rite of Oblivion. Okay, good. Get him. Must stop drawing lands. I was way ahead, and those last 2 land drops have me thinking this is closer to even. Okay. Had a feeling it might be Hook. And then they're still holding Infernal Grasp? Maybe. Oh, Underdog. Alright, Underdog has to die. Oh, it doesn't have to die right away because they didn't blitz it. Let's see what we draw with the tower. This is getting really sus. So if we hook here, the opponent just blitzes out the underdog. It's not good for us. Let's wait. Hopefully Hook can kill something else, and then we can write the underdog or something. Reliquary gets a card because of Hook. Come on. Come on, deck. Oh, that's not great. Because then they start blitzing underdog, but hopefully we draw something else, you know, to fill the space. Yes, that is great. That is great. Probably a very tough creature for them to deal with. Here comes Blitzy Puppers. Bankbuster. That's an annoying one, but okay. We can sacrifice Edgar to exile the Bankbuster. You gonna just attack with that now that you kind of gave away? I was gonna block anyway, so it doesn't matter, but... Okay, Missionary, nice. I think I have a welcoming vampire down there. Hit him up. I think I just play this out, to be honest. Life totals are sus, and Invoke Despair is dangerous. All right, let's get our coffin cooking. All those lands actually coming in handy for this big turn. Start the missionary train. Okay. Cool. I look forward to getting it back next turn, unless you make me discard this. Maybe they have a Liliana? Underdog Gaming. They do have a Liliana. Lucky.
A fight? And you think you can win? We all have things we...
All right, closer than I'd like it to be. What a draw. Let's hold that in case they want to plus Liliana instead of minus. What a draw. Okay, our opponent's top deck game is making ours look embarrassingly bad. I mean, we were at a parity position. That's kind of bullshit. That's what that is.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
I've always hated crowds.
Oh wow. I mean, could you get luckier? I guess not, right? Oh my god. Well, can't stop that. Magic gods definitely frowned on us in that game. I thought we had it. All right, we'll try this hand. If the opponent plays a creature, we are ready to kill it. Anytime. This is my third mono black today already. Jesus. So much for a change in the meta, huh?
When I win, you're telling me
Right.
what you
Gotta draw something for the Rite of Oblivions to hit. But hey, it can be cast from graveyards. Hopefully they don't have blitzed underdog Liliana minus. That would be heartbreaking.
I'm busy.
sacrifices must be made.
Okay, no Sheldred. We get to plus Sorin, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. Cast this, they'll probably kill it, but at least we get the coffin going. So let's see if our opponent's good enough at Magic that they hit their land drop here and cast Invoke Despair. They seem confused by the presence of this coffin. Not many people playing Edgar. I don't remember last time I saw it in meta, but it should be really good against mono black. Yeah, they didn't have any problem curving out. Okay, but that is not Invoke Despair. But they did cast something right into Invoke Despair. Interesting, huh?
We all have things we'd rather forget.
I think we let this go. We get value from our graveyard. Hype. So now we get a 1/1. The 1/1 we can sack to Rite of Oblivion if we want to. But I'm not that afraid of Liliana. Honestly, it's doing us plenty of good, making the opponent discard. And if we find a land, we just invoke them and it's nasty, right?
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
Here comes a good dog, trying to hit those land drops. We're digging and digging for it. Wonder what the opponent's given us such a full roping for. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I think if they want to invest their mana into making this a 4/4 and drawing cards, I'm okay with that. Look for one. Yeah. Guess I should kill this before the hook resolves. I like using the grasp there and saving the evil. We might actually evil the hook at some point if we really want to, but I think Invoke Despair will fix it, assuming there are any lands in our whole deck.
You won't be outsmarting me.
I think the hook can go. Another Liliana down. They're down to one card. We still have 4 and a coffin and a Sorin. If their Liliana is working for us. Maybe I don't even want to kill it. Let's make a critter.
You fight for me now.
Yeah, let's go for a board state instead of killing Liliana here. That's a lot of cards. We can afford to discard some of them, and if the opponent wants to trade it with a card in their hand, I'm happy. If they minus it for one of these creatures, that's fine too. I'm actually not in a hurry to invoke them. I'd rather kill Liliana at my leisure and then draw cards from my invoke. Because right now, Lily is just trading with either something inconsequential from our board or something good from their hand. That is their third meat hook. Okay, opponent. Sure, I haven't... That's fine. All that stuff basically we got it for free or off another card, so it's fine. And Liliana does not tick, so now she dies. Cool. I love it.
My ways are not for the weak.
Everybody forgets that Edgar can attack the turn he comes out. I forget.
Things were supposed to go.
Missionary, sweet. Wedding announcement, sweet. Okay. I sacrifice Edgar, who becomes Coffin. And now we start gaining life back. I think we have cool stuff in the graveyard, right? So we can missionary get it back. Yeah. I mean, how many hooks could they possibly run? Oh no, not the curtains. We have rights we didn't even use. We have removal spells we've held the whole game. Just absolutely ground them to dust. We ignored their Liliana. We basically put her to work for us. We played through 3 meat hooks. And Invoke Despair. I mean, this deck can grind, man. This deck goes to work. It's kind of awesome. I'll has card. Thank you. Were they going to kill that welcoming vampire? You're too late. How about this? You like that? Destroyed. Absolutely in shambles. What are they sitting on that holds priority? March? Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you for giving me something to resurrect again. Assuming you somehow survived this attack. Oh my god. What a beating. And welcome back to the Mono Black Invitational. Today, we're going to rely on Destroy Evil and Edgar a lot, aren't we? Do we keep this hand? It kind of does nothing. Okay. Shuffler has decided Edgar you shall have. Blue on the draw with this slow deck. No Destroy Evils. Probably gonna lose. It's not a good anti-blue deck. You can hope to build up like Destroy Evil in hand and kill the Jhin with it and give yourself a chance, but you really do need to go first. Which we did not. So we'll just be throwing out cards that get countered for the next like 5 turns or so. It's gonna look like every mono blue game that you didn't want to ever have to watch. So whether or not it even makes it in the video will depend on if anything unique or interesting happens for the entirety of the battle. Attack you. Edgar. Scorned. That's fine. He was kind of a cranky groom anyway. Companion. Announcement. Sure, they would have played a Make Disappear or a Syncopate last turn if they had it. So we should be getting premium counterspells here. They kept on top. Probably a Jhin. Okay. The ward is a bit of a pain. So let's try to play this, because if it resolves, we just get to kind of block this forever and it's fine. We could also try to Rite of Oblivion, pay the 2. The missing 1 mana is really bad, so we have to play this land this turn, but we want to do something with our turn cycle. I guess we could wait and see if they thirst on end step, and then we could cast Instant Speed Destroy Evil. Yeah, maybe we go for a Destroy on their turn and then a Rite on our turn. He shoots, he scores. Didn't expect that. So this is what they plan to defend. Here's right. And the closest thing we've had to card advantage in this game is if we can cast this again from the graveyard. Ink Disappear won't save it. We already got a negate, thanks to Wedding Announcement. Syncopate, not enough. It's gone. That does seem like a Make Disappear, though. Or a Syncopate. Welcoming Vampire plays around a Syncopate. Make Disappear, it does not. Do we offer this to the gods of Make Disappear? If they had a Make Disappear, they would have used it the turn before. Let's go for it. Unless they top decked it. In which case, we roll the dice, though. Ooh, Scorn? Actually, really happy to see that Scorn go. Okay, they have another Jhin. So how many more of these counters can they actually have? Play around, Make Disappear, and Syncopate. Resolves. And now the race is afoot. As they try to find cover for this Jhin. If we draw a second removal spell to go with this right, I think we're in this. If not, we just die next turn. Which is, you know, sad. Alright, top deck. Not a good top deck. We play the land and we lead with the right for sure. Don't give them the ability to play a Make Disappear here and get there. Okay, they're at 10. If we play another spell here, they could attack for potential lethal, and we don't get another draw. So we have to end the turn and hope they can't put a spell in the graveyard. And then that we can rip a removal spell, and that their card in hand is like a Make Disappear that we can play around. Reroll. We run a lot of removal, but not enough drawn in that game. Not the right cards. God, that was sad. But that's going to be a terrible matchup most of the time. If you absolutely hate losing to Mono Blue, I can't recommend this deck because Mono Blue will be advantaged in every game. You really have to hope that they miss a step. And in this case, our opponent, you know, they got their Syncopate to resolve well. And then after that, they didn't draw any Make Disappears. They only drew hard counters. And that was good enough. All right, we get to go first. That is always a good thing. And the dog will hopefully help get us to, you know, go dig up another land so that we can start curving out. Maybe 2 lands. We could have a really good curve. Nice. Harvester, big surprise. All the Destroy Evils, we're going to really be putting them to the test here to see if they actually find targets against red-black. But they should have Fable. Hook for 1 is sad. You know what else is sad? Not drawing land. Edgar right there would have been really good. Okay. Destroy Evil, aptly named for sure. Because that's gotta go. God. Can't get lucky, man. Can't get lucky. So what do we do here? Do we write this? I'm gonna have another creature. I don't really need 2 creatures for any particular reason, so I guess we write this. Gotta slow him down. We're just taking a beating. Sorin. Sorin plus. Greedy.
Bloody yet righteous.
Greedy gamer.
Blood for knowledge.
Complete with cut down. Wow. Okay. It's good to. Oh my god. I just. 13 cards deep, 3 land. Well, at least Destroy Evil is doing what it's supposed to do. If we play the Sorin, the opponent might go after it, but we can try to dig for our next land. If they attack it with the Tenacious Underdog, we're kind of okay with that. But the danger... No, we've got to play this, right? Because then even if they kill it, we get the Coffin, we get the 1/1, we can Rite of Oblivion the Sorin before it ultimates.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
Okay. Okay.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Do I give up the wedding announcement? My vampire is kind of important. I need to stay alive. Don't want to give up my coffin.
Wallow in darkness, then.
Drop it.
I think it's the Sorin, but I'm not positive. It could be the announcement, but I think the Sorin is the thing we can most give up here. Second Edgar seems pretty nice. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is second Edgar. It's also something we can get back with a missionary. Okay, they do have shelter number 3, because why wouldn't they? Actually, no blocks. We have, using Destroy Evil, 3 times we have punished them for going for Sheldred, so that's felt pretty good. When people said in previous season, myself included, that Sheldred wasn't very good, it was considering these situations exactly these situations, right? Where Sheldra just dies to Doomblade. We didn't realize that Doomblade had become so bad. It really is only Infernal Grasp that seems to kill Sheldred, like, at instant speed on curve. God. I mean, what's it gonna take, guys? Can we get a land?
We all have things we'd rather.
I mean, we're a land from being kinda in it. Hook. I hear it brings you back. All right, so we have to hook for 2, which is going to kill off our own vampires. Could play Sorin instead.
That's my cue to leave.
It's not like their attack is amazing. Okay. Sorin makes a nice juicy flyer.
I bring my own army.
We didn't even get to the part where we invoked Despair. What? Did they flood? Let's see. I was like, they're just flexing on me discarding these lands. 1, 2. No, they didn't really flood. 8 is appropriate for 38 cards deep. Wow. They had a Sorin out that got all the way up to 7, and I didn't scoop to it. They're scooping to a Sorin on 2. I'm stunned. And we are back for the post-game wraps with a themed outro. We have a rank of 695, and over here we are win rate 6 and 9 with what we're going to call black-white tokens. Normally, I don't even post a deck if it does this poorly. However, I think it's worth talking about a couple of factors. Number 1, on the play versus on the draw. 5 times on the play at an 80% win rate, 10 times on the draw at a 20% win rate. So a little bit of bad luck on my side. Things outside of my control. Point number 2, 3 and 1 against mono black. I think it has a very good record against mono black, and one of the games I'm going to show for sure, mono black basically had to draw perfectly from a position where we were at an advantage in order to win that game. The other thing you should be aware of, 1 and 2 against mono blue. Very, very bad against mono blue. If you hate playing against mono blue and you're okay with just scooping early, then this deck can be fine to play. If you need to win against mono blue or your life's not complete, this deck, along with every other deck in the meta that isn't aggro, is probably not a deck you should play. And then the other thing I wanted to mention about the stats of the deck are that the first several games were a very different version of the deck. I stumbled into the vampire sub-theme kind of by accident. The deck definitely started as a white-black mid-range deck that had 4 Edgars, but then the other cards in it were like Wandering Emperor and Graveyard Trespasser, and very kind of not particularly focused cards, just good black-white cards. Liliana of the Veil was in the initial build for the first several games. Then when I stumbled upon just take those cards out and kind of lean harder into the vampire sub-theme with Welcoming Vampire, the deck got a lot better. And not only that, it's a mid-range deck that really feels flavorful in the colors of black-white. Like, it feels really very Orzhov with the way that it plays out. It feels it has that little bit of tribal flair with the many vampire cards in the deck. So I think it's a funner way to mid-range than your typical like black-red Invoke Despair pile, for example. And I think it has a good matchup with mono black. Like the games that I won against mono black, I felt like I wasn't afraid of much that they could do. There was just so much value just going off all the time. So it was really good. So I think this deck is definitely worth play if you're into the Vampire Tribe. I think it's better than the stats represent because we're not winning our die rolls and definitely playing an inferior version of the deck for at least the first 3 games. So if you remove 3 games from the equation, we're 6 and 6. And then if you balance out play and draw, it gets better from there. So I think you guys can do better with this list than I did in this video. That's how much faith I have in you. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next one. You are cool.